AutoplayShow ThumbnailsShow CaptionsLast SlideNext SlideIndiana Sprint Week just wrapped its 31st annual dirt track racing showcase. With 7 races in 9 days, you're never sure what or who you might see. Former NASCAR drivers could be in the field, or in the stands, like Tony Stewart at Lawrenceburg. "It's cool just to be a race fan tonight," Stewart said. IndyStar sports correspondents Mike Williams, Rob Peeters and Zach Horrall traveled the state and were at each spot for this year's Down and Dirty event. Plymouth. Things got off to a wet start at Plymouth Speedway. Rain and sometimes downpours moved through the area all day, but the race did go on. Although, not without any delays. Despite a delay of nearly 2 hours, a near-capacity crowd filled the stands to witness an Indiana tradition more than 3 decades old. "It's a little wet, but we're going racing tonight," said the public address announcer as the field of 32 took the track for an engine test. The pace of the night was quicker than normal as race organizers wanted to try to get the full schedule in before the storms arrived. Rain didn't slow the cars down as Greenfield's C.J. Leary set a new track record of 12.996 seconds during his qualifying run. Brady Bacon outlasted the field in the rain to take the win in the first feature of the week. Speed and outlasting the weather were both parts of the plan. "I was trying to go as fast as I could," Bacon said. "You try to get to the front as fast as you can always, because you never know when a yellow's going to fall or when the track's going to change." Mike Williams by photo drivers during heat races during 31st annual Indiana Sprint Week, part of the 2018 USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Season, at Bloomington Speedway, Friday, July 27, 2018. Photo, Doug McSchooler, for IndyStar, Lawrenceburg, sitting comfortably in the Turn 3 grandstands at Lawrenceburg Speedway surrounded by friends and a dog, and wearing an Eldora Speedway t-shirt, sat dirt racing fan Tony Stewart. Stewart has championships in USAC, NASCAR, and IndyCar, almost 50 NASCAR Series wins, the 1996 Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year, and the list goes on. But never mind all that. On this night, with nobody asking for photos or autographs, Stewart was a fan. "It's cool just to be a race fan tonight," Stewart said. "I'm not working on a car, I don't own a car tonight. I just get to sit up here and watch the races, which honestly doesn't happen very often." Recently, Stewart raced in Ohio and Pennsylvania Sprint Weeks. The 2 nights prior, he finished 9th at Erie's Speedway and 12th at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, just 2 of his estimated 80-race schedule. When factoring in the recent NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race at his dirt track Eldora Speedway, Stewart is coming off a hectic 5-week racing schedule. With another 2-week racing trip looming, he skipped the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race in New Hampshire, which his driver Kevin Harvick won, in favor of his own bed. After realizing he hadn't been to a USAC race since his driver Levi Jones retired in 2013, he thought, what better way to relax from weeks spent at a racetrack than going to a racetrack? "It's fun," he said. "I'm going to be gone for 2.5 weeks, so it's nice to be able to hang out on the track." Indianapolis's Tyler Courtney won. Zach Horrall Kokomo, scheduled to be the second stop for Sprint Week, rain forced Kokomo's leg back 3 days. When the cars returned, conditions were vastly improved. As a near-sellout crowd, including Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Bowles, enjoyed sunny skies for the 3rd stage of Sprint Week, "just like we planned it. The sun is out and there's no clouds in the sky," said the PA announcer as the crowd filed into the famed 1/4-mile speedway. Kokomo Speedway boasts an alumni list that's a who's who in motorsports. Legends A.J. Foyt, Parnelli Jones, Jeff Gordon and many others raced here in the track's 71-year history. The track also hosts the Brian Clausen Indiana Double on the night of the Indianapolis 500 to honor the former Noblesville driver who dominated sprint racing before dying in a 2016 wreck. Thomas Meseraull took home the checkered flag in a car he wasn't originally planning on driving. "Originally, we were planning on running this car on the big tracks," Meseraull said. We planned on running this at Lawrenceburg, but with the cancellation on Saturday, we just went ahead and ran it tonight. The win in Kokomo was his second straight Kokomo win during sprint week, and he honored Clausen in the win by using his signature phrase, "I parked it at the hardest track to win during sprint week," proclaimed Mazarall moments after taking the checkered flag. Mike Williams by photo wearing his sound-dampening headphones. Caden White, 2, of Springfield, Int, recreates his own version of dirt track racing with his toy cars in some dirt near the stands. Many parents keep protection on their children as the loud race cars are on the track. Drivers competed in the 6th of 7 races of the 31st Annual Indiana Sprint Week, part of the 2018 USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Season, at Bloomington Speedway, Friday, July 27, 2018. Photo, Doug McSchooler, for IndyStar, Terre Haute. Just off Interstate 70 in Terre Haute, you'll find multiple shopping centers and restaurants littered along US 41. In what appears to be a commerce hotbed lies the Terre Haute Action Track, a historic dirt track located on the grounds of the Wabash County Fairgrounds, which has hosted races since the 1950s. The main draw for Sprint Week is the USAC Sprint Car races. However, supporting the USAC series is the Dirt Modified series. On July 25, the Dirt Modified field featured former NASCAR competitor Ken Schrader. Schrader may have retired from NASCAR competition, but he still enjoys running at local dirt tracks throughout the country, including last year's Little 500 at Anderson Speedway. Schrader's appearance in the support race was greeted with little fanfare. Even during the race, Schrader finished a quiet 5th. Again, Indianapolis's Tyler Courtney won the feature, his second of this year's Sprint Week. Rob Peters by photo drivers competed in the feature race at Bloomington. This was the 6th of 7 races of the 31st Annual Indiana Sprint Week, part of the 2018 USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Season, Friday, July 27, 2018. Photo, Doug McSchooler, for IndyStar, Putnamville. A day later at Lincoln Park Speedway, a massive crowd packed the stands with popular sprint car names in the field. Trying to find a parking spot about an hour before racing started was a challenge, with some fans improvising as best they could. RV parking filled up long before, with fans camped out waiting for the night's events to begin. The crowd was packed to the brim in both the front stretch and back stretch grandstands. Some fans came prepared, and brought lawn chairs and blankets to sit in the grassy area in front of Turn 1. Some of the favorites heading into the race were Terre Haute winner Tyler Courtney and this year's Little 500 winner Cody Swanson. However, it was Kokomo-born 51-year-old Dave Darland who showed why he's still one of the best in USAC racing today. Darland held off the hard-charging Chris Windom, whose bump and run on AJ Hopkins created a shower of boos his way. The win was Darland's 19th career in Indiana Sprint Week. Rob Peters by photo. Empty seats mean fans know they'll get pelted with dirt if they sit too close during 2018 USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Season, at Bloomington Speedway, Friday, July 27, 2018. Photo, Doug McSchooler, for IndyStar, Bloomington. The Bloomington stop was a chance to honor one of USAC's legends. Sheldon Kingser, a 3-time USAC national champion, died after a battle with cancer in 1988. He competed in kart from 1975 to 1981 and had 11 top 10 finishes, including 6th in the 1981 Indianapolis 500. A cousin of 20-time World of Outlaws champion Steve Kinser, Sheldon's 37 USAC sprint car wins are 14 more than AJ White. His most notable race may have come in March 28, 1987. Kinser raced in Eldora just 5 months after having a tumor removed from his larynx. He died on August 1, 1988, at 45. He was inducted into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame in 1992, in the feature race honoring Kinser. CJ Leary dominated, leading all 30 laps in a track that has caused him issues in the past. It was a race he didn't expect to win. Rolling into Bloomington tonight, Leary said, "I didn't really expect to win. It's been one of the tougher tracks throughout my career. I grew up racing here and have a lot of experience here, but it just isn't one of my better racetracks. He won with a 1.066 second lead over second-place finisher Kevin Thomas Jr. Mike Williams by photo. Bombers competed at Bloomington Speedway during the 31st Annual Indiana Sprint Week, part of the 2018 USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Season, at Bloomington Speedway, Friday, July 27, 2018. Photo. Doug McSchooler, for IndyStar. Hauptstadt. When most people think about vacation, they think about beaches, big cities, or going abroad. The McDaniel family isn't like most families. With 4 kids under the age of 4 in tow, Rachel and her husband Wes got the camper ready for Indiana Sprint Week 7 races in 9 days. They saw Brady Bacon win the first race, Dave Darland win the last, his first at the track in nearly 30 years trying, and Chris Windom take the week-long title. This is their vacation, it's fun, especially with the camper, Rachel said. We've done it before with a tent. The drives aren't far from place to place. We were at Kokomo for the rainout, and it was still fun, because it just rained out and we hung out. The Fishers family has been doing this for 3 years now. They also take a week off to attend Indiana Midget Week and go to almost every USAC race in Indiana. Rachel is a teacher and Wes is an accountant for the Department of Defense. They're a family so dedicated they even have a name for themselves, the McDaniel Pit Crew. It comes with a hashtag, a Twitter account, and a YouTube channel. The vacation started 6 years ago when they moved to Indiana and caught the racing bug. It took them 1 year to buy a camper, and the rest is history. We got into racing the first year, and we would just go everywhere, Rachel said. A year later we bought a camper, and now we go to everything. Zach Horrall.